Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the RLM Podcast. My name is Eli Detter. I am your host today. Well, not physically joining us, but in the studio with us is none other than Deyvid Palepale. Deyvid, feel free to introduce yourself, man.
How's it going, guys? I appreciate you for having me, first of all. My name's Deyvid Palepale. I attend Manheim Township High School. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska. I used to go to Hempfield from my freshman to beginning of senior year. There I played football, I played basketball, and I did the track and field, and I threw shot and discus there.
Yeah, you did
Um,
everything, man.
I'll be attending the University of Michigan next year, in which I haven't really decided yet, but I'm kind of thinking between economics and accounting,
Oh, nice.
and I'll be playing football there as well.
Awesome. Well, obviously, the main focus of our discussion today is talking about the events that did lead to you having to leave Hempfield High School and go over to Manheim Township. Um, so, before we do that, I do want to just say for the people listening who don't quite know who Deyvid Palepale is, I was searching. I was just on a hunch. I just searched your name up on Google, and like tons of stuff came up. But I just want to read some stuff off of, I believe it was the Michigan State website. It was like their stats and stuff of you. So obviously, like you said, attended Hempfield High School. Let's see, coached by George Yeager, Coach Yeager. See, 6'3", 305 pounds, defensive lineman. Obviously, you came from Anchorage, Alaska. You see, you Hempfield, part of a 9-2 team that won a Section 1 championship junior year, 2022. Part of an 8-4 team in his sophomore year with 2021 with a playoff appearance. Obviously, like you said, basketball, track and field, shot put, and discus. In your junior year, 49 tackles, 10 for loss, 2.5 sacks. And you also returned one of the fumbles for a touchdown. So, I mean, first of all, for people who don't know you, I mean, you're a massive man. You are ginormous. You are like a brick wall. So that's, I mean, you're very impressive with what you've done with football, an absolute unit on the field. But yeah, so I just want to say that before we get into anything, dude, you've done everything. I mean, you're literally on ESPN. Like, what the heck? Oh, 1 second. I don't think you're connected to the right thing. Hmm. All right, try speaking again. Sorry. Why can I not hear you? Hold up, guys. We are having slight technical difficulties. Okay. Yeah. For people who don't know who Deyvid Palepale is, like I said, you are. I mean, you're an absolute unit on the field. Actually, I saw you this weekend down at Hempfield High School prom, so it was pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
It was actually a really fun event. I got to take lots of cool pictures. I'm sorry, guys, we had a slight technical difficulty that I had to fix there, but we are back. So I do want to just let you kind of have the floor here. Feel free to speak your mind here. Obviously, like I said, keep it respectful. Just kind of
Yeah,
explain what all happened.
yeah. All right. So, uh, it started probably after my junior year. So we'll go back to like the 2022 to 2023 football season. So
Yeah.
that year, like you mentioned, we had a really good year. We went 9-2. Um, and that was, we lost a lot of seniors that year,
Yeah.
after we had lost. So, names that pop out to me when I say that, like guys like Aiden Shorter, Gabe Benjamin, just two dudes who like great leaders, great people, and, great football players.
Yeah.
And when you have people like that, your football team will, have really good success. And so wrapping up junior year, we lose to Manheim Township in the district semifinal playoffs,
Hmm.
I want to say. That's like been the hump we couldn't really get over.
Yeah.
And so wrap that up. It's December 13, 2022. Um, Football season ended. I put out my highlight film from the year. My stats weren't really, jumping off the board, but
Right.
if you look at the film and it kind of stands out. Like um, I did some things that to the blind eye people really won't consider. Star status,
Right.
whatever it may be. But December 13, I get a text from a coach, Brian Niedermeyer, who is the defensive coordinator at IMG Academy,
Oh wow.
a private school down in Bradenton, Florida. And I think every young football player who you know fairly just keeps track, the IMG is one of like a prestige like footballs, like,
Right.
well, any school really. If you get into like a school like that, it's really good.
Right.
So I get contacted there. I start building a relationship, and they start telling me, there's a spot for me there.
Right.
And I'm like, there's no way I can move down to Florida. Like, let alone like I get called in school, so it's kind of weird. Like,
Right.
my parents aren't even next to me. I get home, I tell my parents, and we get to talking about everything. And then like they give me like, this is kind of like, we'll give you your time, but there's other people that they're also looking at.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
one of first, and so like I took that very highly, and um, we took it at the time. For me, it was I wanted to get better.
Right.
The competition level there is just, it's second to none. Like it's really preparing you for college. It's away from home.
Yeah.
You're in a dorm. You're traveling around the world. It's the national team. It's like
Right.
it's crazy. So I took up on that. I told Coach Egger, um, and so I had his class first period.
Mhm.
Stepped outside, had a man-to-man conversation about it. I told him how I was feeling, and then from there that's where it started to go downhill.
Mhm.
Uh, he accused me of, like, what he said to me was, I feel like you've had this all planned out, all along throughout the season,
Mm.
and you're just not telling me this. And then it kind of, I mean, I could see it, but I was telling
Right.
him, like, I tried showing him receipts. Like, this all happened within a week,
Right.
where
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
had to
not
make a
fair to you.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so, I told him that. He hit me with, what does IMG have that that we don't? I was just, I looked at him, and I was like, there's no way you really asked this. It's like,
Yeah.
respectfully, like,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's just obvious, like the competition there. Like, I had all the offers that I wanted. Like, it was
Right.
never about that.
Right.
Like, I had my dream school. Like, it was, like, the intent, first of all, playing football was, I never thought I was gonna go D1. Like, I've always
That's
like had
crazy.
aspirations, but
You
it
never thought
happened,
you'd
and I
go
was just like,
D1. That's
whoa.
crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was just like, I just kind of played it, and my parents, they raised me like to be a very good man, and
Yeah.
in school, and then as in football, when I picked it up, they just pushed me, and so like, I got to that level, and that's where that took me. And so that whole thing happens. As I walk into class every week, there's like tension, and
Yeah.
there's peers that can attest to this. I sat in the front, literally in front of him. And I was that kind of student. I like,
Yeah.
was, I'm here, I'm present. I wanna be great. And like, he wouldn't look my way. He wouldn't acknowledge. Like, I come in and we have a great conversation. And I talked to like a lot of coaches around, and now that I'm here at Manheim Township, Coach Evans, he's a great guy. Like, he's the type of person who would have pushed that out to, make his program look like, you come here, we'll get you to places like
Right.
IMG.
Right.
So like, that support that was not there. Um, and like, at that point, I'm like second guessing myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like homesick at this point, and I haven't even left home. So I'm getting ready to leave. I get withdrawn from the school, not completely, but at this point, there's like probably 2 weeks left in the
Right.
semester. So I don't show up. The tensions are high, and my brother's coming back because my brother's staying. He's a freshman, and
Mhm.
he's telling me like, "Hey, David, um, I'm getting pulled up to varsity," and I'm like that's my guy. Like my
Right.
brother, me and my brother are real tight. We
Yeah.
do everything together, and so the only time we ever got to play football was in flag. Believe it or not, I played quarterback at that point. So like that was really enticing, and I want to say it was I on record. I think I said it was a day before I left, which I don't think is true. It was definitely at least a week before I was supposed to get on that plane to Florida. Um, everything was all good to go. I was getting ready to leave, and
Hmm.
he hits me with, yeah, we're bringing your brother up to varsity. Um, he's tried every trick in the book,
Yeah.
and that's what put me over. Like the feeling of, especially because we lost in Manheim Township
Right.
last,
Right.
like that was the last team I played. It wasn't even close, and then my brother, I get the chance to play with my brother. I took up on it. Like I
Right.
literally, like
Yeah.
I was like sitting in this couch right next to me. I called my mom. She was at work. I was like, I want to stay. She was like, David, like you have to be like for sure, because I said it
Right.
very softly, and I was just like, it felt so right.
Yeah.
That's where my heart was, and I did it. So I stayed. I ended up coming back, and at that point, it was never really the same. So everything's a little off. It's
Hmm.
kicking into the new year. I come back to school, um, and I put on a lot of weight at that time. Just because I'm like, I literally was just like, I wasn't depressed, but I was just sad. Like I
Right.
was like taking everything in. It was starting to pile up on me. Spring comes. I'm cutting weight. A lot of new faces in the program, um, and we had moved. So we lived in an apartment in Hempfield's area,
Hmm.
and by the time IMG hit me, I was gonna go, and my brother got pulled up. We had moved to Manheim Township School District, so we're living here, um, and we kind of keep it low key because we want to finish what we started at Hempfield.
Right.
That was a goal. Um, Season comes by. Um, Me and my brother, we always go work out at the field. So the closest one here is Weaver Field. I'm not sure.
I
Pretty sure that's
do.
really
I don't
well
know
known.
exactly where that is now.
Yeah. It's like in my backyard. It's literally
Gotcha.
probably 2 minute drive.
Gotcha.
So we go over there, we're playing football, and like we go there every day.
Hmm.
And when you go to a certain place, people start to recognize you.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm a hard man to miss. I'm
Yeah.
always outside my house. I'm
Yeah.
walking my dogs, and it's funny. It's like it really is. It's like it's hard to like. It's not well. So you're supposed to go to the school where you live in,
Right.
but I want to go to play football at my school I'm at already. So
Right.
on top of that, if you transfer, you can't play in playoffs as a senior and stuff. So
Gotcha.
that was also a factor. I didn't want to transfer. Um, Next thing you know, things start to get too much, and then um, people find out where I live.
Hmm.
So my house gets reported. There's people outside my house taking pictures, sending it to the coach. Um,
To Yeager or to the Manheim
yeah, yeah,
Township coach?
Hempfield, yeah,
Oh,
Hempfield's
Hempfield
head
coach.
coach. And so like he's getting texts and he's telling me, and like at this point, like we feel threatened. Like it's like, dang, like maybe this isn't right.
Hmm.
Maybe we should do it the right way. Which is, that's something that the Hempfield head coach preached, was doing it the right way, and things like that. But he knew, we would always see his dad around here. I guess he lives somewhere out here. And we'd see him on his walk with his wife, and we'd always say hi. And then he figured out we ended up living in Manheim Township too.
Mm.
Um, and so like, what is it? At this point, everybody knows where we live, and there's people like literally signing like documents on like, you should probably not be going there.
Yeah.
That's just not what you're supposed
Yeah.
to do. And so um the Hempfield head coach, he ended up telling my parents, he's like, there, you have to do it the right way, but there's a way around this. And so like I end up we end up signing documents to where um we ended up living with one of our teammates at Hempfield.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like and then that whole thing went down, and then at this point we're already the season's going, first week is coming up, but my grandpa, my great grandfather, which I'm very close with, and that's like my second dad. He raised my mom, and so that's somebody I look up to dearly.
Yeah.
Um, he has cancer, and people in Alaska, like family in Alaska, it's hard to get him to appointments and
Right.
everything. Get him taken care of, and that's something my mom has always done. Is look out for him,
Yeah.
and so she couldn't take time off, and neither could my dad because my dad just had gotten his new job. And so, the only really like thing that could happen, he's too old to travel by himself
Right.
as well. And, just trusting other people with, your elderly loved ones, it's kind of scary. So they had sent me out to go get him. And that led up to this whole big deal. This was in heat acclimation. So this is like probably the week before the season starts.
Mhm.
And there's already a situation where another teammate of mine on the team, he's missing a week because he's doing baseball. And he told him that, if you miss this week, the expectation is you can't play the first game.
Mm.
And which I told my family, and I told him that I'd be going to Alaska to go pick up my great grandfather. And while I'm out there, my uncle who does tattoos, I'll just get my tribal, which is,
Right.
it's significant in my culture,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
Samoan heritage.
Yeah.
And so I got it. I went out there, and he thought I went out there just for the tattoo. He tried working ways around it, but it's the cheapest way. Like the cheapest thing for us was to do the week, because if you cut it down to like 4 days or the 3 days that he wanted to, it'd be a lot more expensive.
Right.
And my family, we don't got it like that. Like I'm just
Yeah.
being honest. Like, I wish like if we did have that kind of money, it'd work out exactly how everybody wanted it to.
Right.
Um, and so you know, back to what I was saying, like he told one kid on my team that they can't play the first game because you're missing a week.
Mhm.
And so I told him that like this is the plan. This is the reason. Family comes first. Like
Right.
I,
Absolutely.
I will never miss out on anything if it isn't just for family. So I went out, and he was like, "All right, so you're gonna miss the first week." I accepted it. I took it like a champ.
Yeah.
I did not complain at all. I was like, "This is my family, and I'll do whatever it takes to just to do it." And so I come back, and like he's making stipulations where it's like, we'll let you play, and like I'm the type of guy, like if the rules are the rules, like
Right. Right.
you said I can't play the first game, I'll take it. And now he's working ways around it.
Mm.
And, that's just not fair to the next person, because now you got to change the rules for that person too.
Right.
And so changes it, we play. And at this point, first game comes. First game comes, Dallas Town at home, wild game, rowdy, everybody's excited. It was a fun time, really
Right.
fun
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And so that game goes by. We sneak it out with the win. Wake up the next day for practice, and my foot is completely swollen,
Mm.
and I cannot walk on it one bit. Go to the doctor. I let coach know, and I find out that I have a stress fracture.
Oh.
And so, like, for those, like, a stress fracture in the foot, I remember when the quarterback had it, Jax Landis, which I had a very good relationship with. I was like, dude, that doesn't even sound like it
Right.
hurts. It's like, bro, a
Yeah.
stress fracture in your foot. But I honestly was like, I was, if I stepped on it, I was literally crying. I was on
Oh
the
yeah.
floor. I was like, I cannot get up. Like I was in a boot, and I didn't want to risk it because I have college in the next year, like a couple months.
Right.
So my doctor's telling me it's probably safe, if you just give it about 7 weeks. And So my mom was like, we're doing that 7 weeks. You can't play. Um, and, the coach didn't take it lightly at all.
Probably
Yeah,
was not
it's
happy
like,
about that.
and which, yeah, like, which I understand, like, like it's unfortunate. It's like, and he preaches like, weight room will keep you from preventing injury, but
Right.
I honestly don't know like what I could have done to, for my foot to,
Right.
uh, you know, yeah, I understand like lifting and working out does prevent injuries.
Yeah.
But it was just unfortunate that, it happened. And so, you know, I get injured. I'm sitting on the sideline. Um, and we're not doing too well at this point. Second week comes in, we play York High, start off really hot, and then um, just we started losing. We played the next few weeks, and at this point, like our playoff chances are looking very, very slim. And so, Manheim Township week comes up,
Hmm.
and I go in the week before to get my foot checked out. They're saying, you're healing a lot faster. I still wouldn't recommend you going out to play. My mom's
Right.
still adamant about it. And my dad's, he's like, this is Township week. This is why you came back.
Right.
Like, and I really did not want, I wanted to go back after week one. Like, I wanted to play the next game.
Right.
So, like, I'm freaking out. I'm wanting to play. I'm getting really emotional. Like, we're losing, and I hate losing. Like, that's one thing. Like, I'm a competitor. Like, I love competing. And so like, and I think I don't know, I'll probably take it to the extent where people don't like it. Um, but that's just me.
Yeah. I
And
mean, there's nothing
like
bad about being competitive.
yeah, 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 you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
and I could see where it rubs off the wrong way and to where it seems like it's arrogance and like that was never the intent. I've always wanted to win, like, and when you're losing a lot of games, it's kind of
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's just like, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah. I
And so
mean,
like,
it's almost like who can blame you for wanting just to win?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so like, and I knew everybody else wanted to win. I'm not saying it like nobody else wanted to. We just weren't making changes until where like it put us into position to win.
Right.
So
Right.
um we get into it, and then I end up deciding that, I wanted to play against Manheim Township. And so my my parents were like, if you really want to do it, then let's do it.
Yeah.
But like, we limited my snaps. I only played defense, which, the coach, he agreed to, like, if you're gonna play, like, you should probably not play too much. Like,
Right.
just play
Right.
where you're gonna play in college, play in a position where it'll help us win, and that's it. And so Man Township comes up, I play, foot's like still like it's irritating me,
Hmm.
and like we end up losing that game, and we play Pamana. We lost that game, uh, and then we at this point are like we have to beat Wilson,
Right.
and so like, Wilson week comes up, and I'm playing that week too because like I want to get into playoffs. I want to make this well worth it,
Right.
well worth it,
Yeah.
and so like that comes up. Uh, oh, I missed this. My whole address got posted on the Manheim Township Barstool the week that we played them, and so like that hit me, and
Yeah.
so everybody knew where I lived, and so at that point, the search for like why like David lives here, but he's still going here gets even more
Right.
extensively
Yeah. People just
deeper.
start
Look,
making
like, yeah,
conclusions and stuff like
exactly.
that.
And so that week comes up, Wilson week comes up, and this is homecoming week, and you know this is powder puff,
Right.
all the good stuff, like
Right.
the fall fling, like all the fun things that you know anybody wants to do, especially in their senior year, which we don't want to miss anything.
Right.
So that week comes up, uh, we start off, we go starts off on a Thursday. This is where it really just like kind of peaked. Um, Thursday is a review day. It's
Hmm.
like it's like get it. It's a mental day. You get it all down. You're all dialed in. Friday game day.
Right.
Thursday comes. We're really lackadaisical, and the coaches are on us, and it's defensive period, and we let the running back go straight through the middle, bounce it to the sideline, and run, and not a single player on defense chased him.
Mhm.
And so they blew the whistle. They made us do like, I want to say they made us do burpees. They yelled at us and they're like, run to the ball, run to the ball.
Mhm.
Next play, I line up. They run the ball again, and I chase them down. And it's me and probably four other people.
Right.
And the running back cuts back in, and I tackled him. Like I laid him out. All I hear is, ooh. And at this point, there's like, you got the concession stand open. Like people are
Right.
getting ready for what was that game? The Power Pump
Yeah.
game.
Yep. Yep.
And so like there's people grilling, there's kids around, there's like it's this whole thing, and then us on the football field, and I lay this kid out, and all you hear is the defensive coordinators blow the whistle. He's like, I'm tired of this.
Mm.
Take a lap. And me, like I was like, I didn't think everything of it. Because we all just started walking back.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you not hear me? I said, take a lap. And I
Mhm.
turned around and he was talking to me. I was like, wait, what did I do? Like I'm trying to get a reason as to like,
Right.
because behind every punishment there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
Like, and so like I'm asking him, he was like, it doesn't matter, like take a lap. I was kind of confused because he told us to go chase the ball, but I went and chased the ball, and he came into me, and I just laid him out, and I told him to make a lap, and I was just like, wait, but this isn't like I turned, I asked him, he's like, you know what, make it two. So I run the 2 laps, and I walk off. Like I went to go like practices like 5 minutes over,
Mhm.
5 minutes till it's over, and
Right.
I have to shower to get ready for uh geez, what is it? Homecoming court.
Right.
And that starts like as soon as we're off the field and people get set up. We have to get ready, get the pin, get
Right.
the strap and the pictures. And so go off, do that. And I'm still confused as to why I had to run. And so like I asked Edgar, I was like, is this like we're accepting like losing behavior? Like I don't get it. Like you told me to run to the ball.
Right.
Um and when I get to the ball, it was a problem. So it's kind of very contradicting. And like I was really confused about it. And so I saw my parents because I went to go take a shower in the high school. Um, and on the walk back to the field, my parents were picking up my brother, and I was just like, they're like, "How's practice?" I was like, it was good. And then at the end, like he made me run, but without a reason. And he was like, my parents were like, "Wait, what do you mean?" I was like, "Well, he told us to go to the tackle the ball or to chase the ball down because none of us did, and so I did it,
Mhm.
and he yelled at me." And my parents were like, well, he still didn't give you a reason. I was like, no. So my dad went up to go to talk to the defensive coordinator, but as soon as he saw my dad, he dipped.
Mm.
And so my dad ended up having to talk to the head coach.
Right.
But the head coach had no idea, and he couldn't even give my dad a reason. So it was
Right.
like, it was very weird. It was like, it was odd, and it was just, it was sticky. It was a sticky situation to
Yeah.
be in. And the Friday comes, um, and we're playing that game, and it starts off really bad, but it was really close, and it could have been a very good game, which we could have won,
Right.
but it didn't. Like like again, we always end up finding our ways in slumps. We usually find a way to make it out, but
Right.
didn't work in our favor again. And so like I get into an altercation with this kid, and it starts from the beginning of the game.
Mm.
The center, and the snapped the ball. It was nothing happened. I didn't make a play. He didn't make a play. But then he comes in my ear. He's cussing. He's hooting and hollering. He's like, "Oh, that's why IMG didn't want you." And I turn. I'm
Mm.
like, one thing I don't take is disrespect. And
Right.
so like I'm like, okay, so this is how it's gonna go. So we're going back and forth all game. And he says some things that he's not supposed to say
Yeah.
at all,
Yep.
whatever that may be. And like we're losing, and I let it get to the best of me to the point where I ended up just pushing him to the ground
Mm.
after the play, and I knew it was a flag. At this point, there's 2 minutes left, 4 minutes left in the fourth. We're down 2 touchdowns. That's like almost impossible to kind of come back from
Yeah.
that. And like at that point, it's my fault. I accepted it. Like that's on me.
Yeah.
Uh, and the head coach comes over to me. He's like, you're better than that. This is like that's a bad look on you. And I'm just, I'm telling him like, I know I am, but like at some point I got to stand up for
Yeah.
myself, and
Absolutely.
I can't just let anything slide at this point.
Yeah.
And like my ego's hurt already. We're losing, and like when you talk smack, you got to back it up. And
Yeah.
if you win, you pretty much have that upper hand. And so like at this point, none of the offers matter. None of this matters. None of what you did last year matters. Nothing matters. And so like our playoff hopes gone. They're down the toilet. And I get a flag on me at the end of the game because of what happened. Um, Coach pulls me out. He's talking to me, and I'm just like, I'm not having it. Like the season's over. Like I
Right.
didn't like the way it went. People, you know, like it was just a very negative vibe. And so like my parents, my parents were like, they're like, come on, like, did you guys do anything throughout the week? I was like, yeah, we did, but it just never seems to work out on Friday nights. And so like Saturday comes, it's homecoming, like, I'm trying to forget about it. I want to have a good time,
Yeah.
live life, whatever. So the parade comes, it's very good. It very well ran actually. I was
Yeah.
very surprised with
I
the way it
was
turned out.
upset that I missed that. It was
Yeah,
looked really fun.
hopefully they do it again. They keep
Yeah.
doing it. It was a very good turnout.
Yeah.
Um, I will say they do have like this year Hempfield has had a good like turnout for their
Yeah.
events. Um, but like I have a good relationship with the guys, like the guys on the team, like we're all close. Like we've been through pretty much everything together. Like
Yeah.
the whole summer we always spend together. We, whatever. And so like Saturday comes, I do the parade. I'm in the car with Avery for homecoming court. She wins homecoming queen, and the football team, the like the lacrosse team, the basketball team, the girls basketball team. Like everybody has
Yeah.
like their little section of like
Yeah.
the parade, and I see like my team. I say what's up to them. I see the coaches, and like it's off. Like it's really, really,
Oh.
really, really weird. And like at this point, it's like I don't care. Like I'm not
Right.
gonna let that affect how my day at homecoming is
Right.
gonna go. And so like I drop it, and I'm positive with the guys. Like if the coaches don't want to interact or say hi, that's fine. I'm not begging anybody to say hi to
Right.
me. And so my parents see them. Um, they see both the defensive coordinator and the head coach as we're walking by, and nothing was said. Like we
Oh.
see them, they see them like going to the food trucks and everything. And as we're all walking back together, nothing was said at all.
Mm.
And so um Monday comes around, we have practice that day. I didn't even go to school because I was sick, or I forget what the case was. But first of all, I didn't go to school, so I can't go to practice.
Right.
And so like that's that. And I'm getting like at this point it's like 6 o'clock, so practice is over. I'm getting texts in the group chat. I'm getting texts separately. Like they're like, dude, like you're about to get kicked off the team, and I'm just like, I looked at it and I was like, this isn't real. Like they're really
Yeah.
joking. Like they're
Right.
trolling. I'm like, uh, they're like, no, dude, he was like dissing you while you weren't there. He was like,
Mm.
I was just like, wait, but we saw him Saturday.
Right.
We saw him. Well, I was with them Friday night, and nothing was said. So like Monday, I'm not there because I can't be at practice. That's illegal. It's against
Right.
the IAA. And he comes on. I get a text from everybody. They're like, "Yo, bro, like he just had a vote, and he was like pretty much saying that you're a negative guy. You're like a leech to the team." And I was like, there's no way. Like, so I'm texting the guys. I'm just like, so did you guys have to vote? And he was like, yeah. And then he pretty much just kind of like, there was like, and I don't blame the guys. Like, I love them all. Like, those are my guys.
Right.
And when you're put in a situation like that with somebody who holds power, you're like, even if you have a say, like if you feel a different way, you don't want to go against the crowd.
Right.
And which, like, I fell victim into that before. Like, this was kind of an instance that happened my sophomore year with another guy on the team, you know. And like, um, I love the guy. Like, I thought he was a really good dude, but um, you don't want to go against the grain.
Right.
Which, I can never fault the guys for, I just wish, like maybe there was somebody in my corner, but at the same time, that pressure is really, when it's in the moment, I know how it gets. And so, um, that wasn't even confirmed. That was just what was going on at the time.
Right. Right.
And so Tuesday comes, I go to school, I get through first period, I'm in second period now. I think it was second or third. I'm in global, um, and I'm sitting there. I plug in my phone, I plug in my iPad. We're watching this documentary,
Yeah.
and my phone goes off, and it's a Penn State coach. Um, and like, I have no reason to be texting him. I go
Right.
to I'm going to USC, and he was like, yo, bro, you good? And I was like, yeah, why? He goes, bro, like on the news, he's like, dude, we just got an article that you got kicked off the team.
Oh
And
wow.
so at this point, yeah, I didn't find out. I didn't
That's
find out from
crazy.
him, and it
That's
got
underhanded.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I didn't even get a call, I didn't get a text from him. I find out through a Penn State coach who found out
Wow.
from a newspaper. And so, like, that whole thing goes on, and I'm just like, I would have hit me and my family would have handled it any other way if
Right.
it didn't happen how it happened.
Right.
Like, take it on the chin, walk out, like, okay, that's Todd's is, like, it's whatever.
Right.
But, I found out like that. I call my mom, I'm like, can you pick me up? Like, I feel sick, like, because then after third and fourth, I'm like third, I'm talking to Edgar because he calls me down to the snitcher's room,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when he tells me. But at this point, I had already found out like 2 hours before and a whole day before,
Right.
and it wasn't from him. Like, if you're gonna do that, I think the best thing is to go man to man before you go around and tell everybody
Yeah.
else.
I hate to
And
cut
so
you off, David. I am getting signs outside
that's
telling me I
it's
gotta
all
hurry
good.
up. Um,
Um,
but I don't wanna cut you off. I do want to say, David, it is very. I do respect you in the way that you did handle all of it. I know it's definitely not fair with everyone, having their own opinion of you,
yeah,
and having their own version of things that happened. But from what I'm hearing, dude, you did what you had to do. You did it
yeah.
honorably. You did it respectfully, and is what is important.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I appreciate you, man, and
Absolutely.
like that's nobody's out to drag anybody, and
Yeah.
like I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Senior night last night was great here at Township Track, so I'm living great.
All right.
But yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for
Absolutely.
having me
Thank
on
you for
here.
coming on the podcast. It was amazing to hear your story, man.
Yeah,
For those listening, we hope that you take something away from here. Don't assume that you know everything about a situation. All right, man. Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Again, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Deyvid Palepale. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on Stead anywhere. And of course, I'm Eli Detter. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, all the good stuff. We thank you for your time, and we hope you all have a wonderful day.